Some more interesting things are developing for Damage Control, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out the latest for AEW, CM Punk, and much more. Let's start things off with the latest for Bayley and Damage Control. So as everyone knows, Damage Control went through a really rough patch from March all the way to nearly August. 6 months of just bad luck, misfortune, miscommunication, and more terrible things amongst the group. Everyone was definitely expecting some sort of split to take place amongst Damage Control during that 6-month stretch. But they somehow kept it together, made it work, held on, and it actually ended up paying off. Iyo Sky won the Money in the Bank contract just a few weeks later. She was cashing it in at SummerSlam and became the new WWE Women's Champion. And that was the exact moment where things appear to be turning around for Damage Control. They went from nearly being on the brink of splitting up to now having the WWE Women's title in their possession. And even Dakota Kai back in a limited role as she continues to recover from her knee surgery. And it's something that fans have been discussing, but Dakota Kai's return and her presence just being there on Smackdown is just amazing and adds so much to Damage Control's overall presentation. Things felt so empty without her when it was just Bayley and Iyo. So to have Dakota Kai back, even in that non-active manager role, really just adds a lot to that presentation and makes them feel fully like Damage Control again. But after their recent few good weeks of good luck, including getting the women's title and getting Dakota Kai back, it looks like some difficult times are coming back for Damage Control. This all went down during a recent edition of Smackdown where Bayley was taking on Shotzi. Damage Control looked like they had a plan going where Dakota would distract the referee, while Iyo hands over the title to Bayley for her to use as a weapon on Shotzi while the referee wasn't looking. But Iyo hesitated a bit to hand the title over to Bayley, which led to Charlotte taking out Iyo, punching Bayley behind the referee's back, and Shotzi was able to capitalize and pick up the win over Bayley. So it's definitely interesting that Iyo hesitated to hand her title over to Bayley, and it's because of that hesitation from Iyo that the night just turned upside down for Damage Control in an instant. It also hasn't been made fully clear who Iyo's first challenger will be. Bianca Belair is gone, Asuka has quietly gone missing, and the only one that's still hanging around Damage Control right now is Charlotte Flair. So there's a chance that Charlotte Flair could be next to challenge Iyo Sky, which is quite the big opponent, especially for a champion's first title defense. But if Iyo is able to successfully defend her title against Charlotte Flair as her first defense, that really would kick off her title reign in a major way. Iyo's title reign just started, but some fans are already complaining and pointing out that despite being the reigning defending WWE Women's Champion, Iyo Sky still feels like a supportive character to Bayley. Regardless if that's true or not, it's still very early in Iyo's title reign, so we definitely got to give it more time to play out and let them establish Iyo as the champion. The path that everyone expects to see is obviously Bayley versus Iyo for the WWE Women's title, so maybe that's something that they could be building towards. CM Punk is an extremely controversial topic and name to bring up right now, but he's still leading a lot of fan conversations following his AEW termination. AEW and Tony Khan revealed earlier in the week that upon further review and following the investigation, they made the decision to fully cut ties with CM Punk and immediately terminate his AEW contract due to his backstage events at All In. Tony Khan also shared his words to the fans that he felt threatened and talked about how horrific of an experience it was for him and how he really had no choice but to make that call. After the 2022 backstage fight between CM Punk and the Elite, some fans thought that CM Punk would never make another appearance for AEW again after that. There was even one point during that hiatus a few months ago that CM Punk visited Monday Night Raw backstage, but he was asked by Vince McMahon to leave, since he was still an AEW talent at that time, and all the legal trouble that could come with him visiting WWE. But then a few months after that, AEW and CM Punk worked everything out, and he was set to return to lead their new show. And that was going well until these recent events, of course. Reports claim that CM Punk was facing a lot of backstage issues recently in AEW, with a lot of tension building up. With one report even saying that he allegedly said out loud that he hates this place, referring to AEW. Then another new report just came out claiming that CM Punk had interest in returning to WWE prior to his AEW return. It's also being reported by Sports Illustrated that CM Punk is expected to release a statement soon on his AEW termination, but his statement hasn't been released yet at the time of this recording. But the big growing conversation now is if CM Punk will walk into the sunset with All In being his last ever match inside of a wrestling ring, or if a WWE return is in play for him. CM Punk briefly worked for WWE on Fox back in 2019 and early 2020 as part of the WWE Backstage program, reacting to storylines and matches. But he himself has not stepped foot inside a WWE ring since the 2014 Royal Rumble. CM Punk is coming off a lot of backstage trouble, fights, and antics from his time in AEW. A lot of negative energy is surrounding him at the moment. But if WWE is willing to take all that on and agree to bring CM Punk on board, it could lead to something fans thought we'd never see, and that's a WWE return from CM Punk. There's still no confirmed word right now if CM Punk and WWE are in communication in any way, but that's not stopping fans from already fantasy booking this WWE return for CM Punk. Fans have noticed and pointed out that WWE's 2023 Survivor Series event takes place in Chicago, Illinois, inside the Allstate Arena. Not only is that the arena in CM Punk's hometown, but it's also the same exact arena where he's seen a lot of success at in WWE, such as Money in the Bank 2011, where he won the WWE title and walked out of the arena with it. So fans think it would be pretty bizarre to see him return in the same exact arena. Fans are also discussing the likelihood of seeing Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in modern-day WWE, because there's just so much history and story to touch on there. Roman Reigns and The Shield came into WWE following CM Punk and Paul Heyman's direct orders. Then a few years later, Punk even found himself colliding with Roman and The Shield members in the ring. So to revisit that history with each other over a decade later would be pretty interesting. Not to mention that the Paul Heyman dynamic will also come back into play given Heyman's long history with CM Punk. It would be an insanely fresh matchup and out of this world story this late into Roman's title reign. That would be pretty unreal to see. So we'll have to wait and see if CM Punk really could be WWE bound after all. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.